Guys, I'm here today with my new friend Adam from Adam Grubb Media. Adam and I met earlier this year at Noble Coffee, and Adam was a speaker at our 1 year anniversary of Bulls in Business. Adam's got an incredible entrepreneurial story, one that I love because of its very non-traditional, but he's kicking butt. And so I love the non-traditional side of the story. I also love how localized you are, and you're building a big media company right in our backyard here in Noblesville. So that's a lot of fun, and you're getting the chance to interact with a few different people of your team. Your team's like very talented, obviously, but they're characters. They're strong people.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah,
for it.
but they have personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. And I don't know. I think you're doing something really cool. So
I appreciate
excited to jump in and have a conversation. So if you could just give the audience, we have millions upon millions of daily listeners.
No, I do know that.
I'm casting this into the future, 2035. That's what it'll be. But no, would love to just tell your version of your story.
Yeah. Well, it's time tested, and it's also very unique to me in that, I had a regular job. I went to school for a couple days. I quit because it didn't really make sense for me at the time to be in college. I was working full time at a radio station. That was my life. I was making $25,000 a year. It was a big money in 99, 98. And then I got into sales, and then I started working full time in a media company. I watched a media company be grown and all the different ways that you can make money within a media company. And I was director of sales, and I had a great mentor and boss at the time who I kind of emulate even my leadership style now after. But eventually I'm watching everybody else make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching everybody else get the spoils of the work. There's got to be something different here. And so I took one of those quick chances, and it's incredibly easy to start a company, which most people don't realize.
Right.
That we could start one during this podcast.
Yes.
And be
Yes.
stamped for the state of Indiana by the end of this thing. It's very easy to start your business, and so I did. I started AG Productions at the time. I was just going to be in video, and I started doing video. I learned how to do it, kind of what we see here, very basic kind of video, and then started selling some more. And then pretty soon I'm like, all right, this is a real company. Now I got to go after it. And so we started hiring people, and we went from 3 or 4 main people in 6 years ago to nearly 23 people now that we have at AGM. And that's the condensed story. There's trials and tribulations and failures and bad decisions and bad hires and tight months of revenue and all the things that go along with it. I mean, when you look at a company when they're at the top, which right now we're at the top of our growth, we're hiring and we're doing things, we're expanding, we're buying, we're acquiring, all that stuff. It looks like, wow, these guys are rock and rolling, and we are, but we also have had all those moments of concern and confusion, and is this where we go? Is this right? And when I spoke at the Bulls in Business anniversary, one of my big topics there was the values of the company. One of the big topics was that I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a savant in business. Right. I just am leading the vision of what I think I want this place to look like and what I want AGM to be. And then I find all these characters and all these talented people that have come to me in all different ways and all different walks of life, and from different countries and different areas, and they found their way to AGM, and they're making it work. So
yeah, you guys just posted on Instagram. It was one of the ladies that work for you overseas. She did like a little bit of the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, in Scotland.
I mean, I feel like you guys need to go over there for a trip to.
Well, we're gonna go to Brazil first because we have a bunch of Brazil talent. Yeah, nice. So Camila, my chief creative officer, she's from Brazil and has broued a lot of talent. We have several Brazilians that work for us.
Nice.
So we're gonna go there first. And then we'll go to Scotland.
Yeah.
But
nice.
we have Canadian, two that live in Canada. We have Arizona, Brazil, Scotland, and those are all employees. And then we have some contractors all over the place. But it's a very eclectic group. And then we have our local team here that's been really, really awesome to watch grow and to be a part of the growth. They're great.
And they're how many do you have downtown Noblesville at the office?
We have 13.
Okay.
13, 14. And they're in and out. So, but yeah, building this in Noblesville has always been what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be in downtown. I wanted to build this thing here. It's where I live. My kids go to school here. This is where we've been for a long time, and I love the city. I love the town. So I wanted to build a local company. We have Midwest and national presence, obviously, with our clients. But there is a really cool, kitschy thing to be building a media company of our size.
Absolutely.
And the lofts at 10th, in downtown Noblesville.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and your story is unique in the sense of, and I my wife and I are very public about, we've homeschooled our kids. We are very pro entrepreneur. We want our boys to try different businesses and stuff. But I also understand the importance of college. And you're a rare example, in my opinion, of, you're in the media industry. You did your college starting at 15, really,
Correct.
as in, I'm going to go work in this industry. And you started AGM while you had another job.
Correct.
Right? And I think that's starting the company the way that you did, being in the industry the way, before you actually started your company is very interesting. But one of the thoughts I had was like, that first hire or two, where it's like, hey, I want to build this thing, but I'm not ready to jump in myself. Like, what did that conversation look like with those people? And I know one of those guys, Shane.
Yeah.
And obviously he's been with you for a long time. But yeah, like those early stages of bringing people on board, what did that look like?
It was exactly that. Hey, I see something here. I need help. You have this talent. So Jen was my first hire. She's now the COO of the company, and she turned the business into a business. She started invoicing and collecting money, doing all the things that I wasn't doing because I'm a creative. I just wanted to go out and sell and create. So she turned that, and then Shane was my second hire, and he was the producer because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was doing. So he then started producing all the videos. But it was very clear from the beginning. I'm not in this full time. This is a company. I'm going to pay you. You're going to work here. You're going to help. You're going to build it up. But I can't work here full time yet. And the reason that was I made a lot of money on my day job, and that's always hard to walk away from, no matter how passionate you are about your side hustle. But I also didn't want to be making decisions for my company based on the, I guess, concern or the fear or any of those other things. I wanted the company to grow as it did, and not be stressed that I can't pay myself or I can't pay them or whatever it looks like.
Right.
I just want to be comfortable, and I wanted to build the company in a different vision. And everyone you get advice all the time, like stay in school, don't go to school.
Yep.
Start a business 15, wait till you're 45, whatever. Right? It doesn't matter. At the end, you're going to build whatever you build, however you build it, and you're going to you're going to bring the people around you, and you're going to hope for the best, and you're going to do everything you can to make that great. And that's what I've done. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's encouraging for people to know that there is no cookie cutter. This is how you get into business ownership.
And that's what's so awesome about it. Like, that's what's cool, is that you can buy a franchise, you can start your own thing, you can start several things at once, you can buy a building, the storage units, right, and just have that as passive income for the rest of your life. There's at any point you can do something entrepreneurial, and it just takes that person to say, hey, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, and you're doing there's the different paths of business ownership, right? Starting from ground up, brick and mortar, like what you're doing with Stick and Hack, and I'd love to talk about that. But then acquisition's like my favorite thing, because I love to see on paper and then be able to, I like to see on paper what that business was doing, and then get with my team to get a better understanding. It's like, okay, we're going to buy this at 4x the current value or 3x the current value, but I know we could raise, we're going to convert better here. We're going to close more sales. We're going to do our own marketing to drive more leads. And
that's our next iteration. Like, we've done it once. We acquired one other media company that I was part owner in. And I knew what it could do, and I knew what I was buying. So there was that. But that is our next iteration, is because you can't grow at the rate that we want to grow, one video at a time, one marketing plan at a time, one ad page in a magazine at a time. You have to do it collectively with other people's clients and or businesses. And so that's a part of the business that I really enjoy seeing and watching, and because it's fun and it's enjoyable. But I also have been learning a lot about all business terms, number one, the financial terms, number two, and the implications of all of that to get a good deal.
Yep.
I am not one of the best negotiators. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I'm just kind of like, hey, can we just get to it? I get bored. I'm not here to haggle and do the whole thing, right? I've been taken advantage of so many times, but when I buy cars, because I have zero time for it. Just like, whatever you want to. And so that concerns me a little bit when we get down the road of that part. That's why I have a couple people surrounding, business people surrounding me, helping me through that process. And if there's any lesson ever that you hear as a business, as a potential entrepreneur or owner or leader, is the people around you is your win or your fail.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think that's for my kids with their friends, with when you get your basketball team or your into your college friends, and then you get into your adult life and your neighborhood, and the people around you are the reason you win or fail.
Yeah.
And if you can see that and recognize that, and have a good team, the business will take care of itself.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about Stick and Hack.
Yeah.
Where the origin story there. I was surprised to hear that what you were talking about with Nate on that Stick and Hack existed before Stick and Hack.
Right.
So would love to hear that story.
So Stick and Hack is the world's greatest indoor golf club. Perhaps it started as the world's greatest golf club in 2019. Is when we started Stick and Hack as a media brand and as kind of this podcast and magazine and everything I love, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't monetize it properly, and it's one of those things where, man, this has so much potential, and I didn't give up on it. I knew the brand was strong, I knew all that stuff, and so I just kept with it. And then I put it on the shelf for a little bit. I'm like, all right, it'll find its own footing eventually. And either I'll make enough money on this stuff so that I can reinvest it over here to get it going, whatever it was. I just put it on the shelf. And then lo and behold, somebody came up to me and said, hey, I want to start a golf sim, and I want you, Adam Grubb Media, to market it and build it and help me do all the content, all the stuff, and the website and everything. And I said, well, I've done all that. Like, we already have that. So why don't we just partner up and bring Stick and Hack 2.0 to the market? And that's what we've done. And so now we have our first location in Fishers, which is 3 indoor golf bays, and we're opening up our second here in towards the end of the year down in Broad Ripple, which is late breaking news for the Bulls in business. Nobody knows that except for right now. So we're going to be opening up our second one down in Broad Ripple at 46th and Winthrop.
When do you want to have that open?
It'll be at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So January.
Awesome.
So we've started the initial construction right now.
There's a lot of stuff there. One of the things that just started, obviously, I'm in the franchising world, obsessed with franchising and stuff. And I think you could have an opportunity, something to ponder is you could have an opportunity to, bring that podcast back to life and create, like, that becomes a thing that grows potentially, right? And that thing can become another marketing platform for the Stick and Hack locations, where it's like it becomes one of the top golf, top 20 golf podcasts.
Well, I think it was. We had so many cool guests, and it was a really fun show. And I mean, that's my background is radio and all that stuff, and I miss it. But after a while, you have to say, okay, you got to cut your losses sometimes. Right. You just got to go, is the work worth the value? Or is there something else that I can put my energy towards? And that's the toughest thing about being a business entrepreneur and owner is knowing when to cut ties and when to kill your darlings. Yeah. And that's an old phrase from the movies. In the edit bay, you have to kill your darlings. Sometimes there's some perfect, awesome scenes, but for time, they don't move the story along, you got to get rid of them. And you got to do that in business sometimes. You got to, we have ideas every single day. We can do this and this and this and this. And then the team will go, hold on a second, we're already overwhelmed and busy, or this makes this that, it's going to take too long, it's going to be too much money. And then you go, all right, well then we'll cut that and we'll come back to it. Yeah. And that's tough, because when you're a visionary or you're creative or you're an excitable personality that likes to do things, for someone to say no, sucks. And even when you're the boss and the owner, you can't just say, well, I don't care, we're doing it. Sometimes you can. But most of the time, I say, okay, hold on. We'll take a look at this.
I'd like to push a little bit more on that for the audience. That key, don't glance over that key of you need to have a team that's willing to push back.
Right.
Right. You are going to drive yourself off a cliff if you have a bunch of people around you that are going to say yes to all of your great ideas and tell you how awesome you are. You need people that are going to push back because they're going to push you forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're gonna solve problems before they become problems.
Right.
Because I have a lot of blind spots. I don't see everything. I just see the end. I just see what this could be. I don't see anything in between there, which sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't know the steps to, specific steps to get to where we want to go. I just see the end. I see what it looks like. I see what people feel about it. I see the money. I see the growth. I see all that stuff. But getting there, I don't necessarily have all those answers, and so that's why I pay them to give
Absolutely.
me those answers. But when they come to you and they go, "Hey, this is going to be way too much for what you think this is going to give us," then I'll obviously slow down and take a listen and make that decision. If I still think it's best for the business, though, I think it's best for the vision of the company as a growth machine, we're going to do it. We might just scale it back a little bit. We might fine tune it, might tighten it up a little bit, might wait 6 months to start it. But I don't like the word overwhelmed. I think you can be overwhelmed if you just say you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. What is the barometer of being overwhelmed? I don't think there's. We just hire more people, or we just work
Get
a little
more efficient.
We just work a little smarter.
Yeah.
We just do whatever
Right.
to make it work. But if there's something that can move the company forward and grow exponentially, we're gonna try it.
Right.
It might not be perfect right out of the gate, but we're gonna try it.
What's your favorite food item that you have there at Stick and Hack?
We're partnered with. That's the great thing. We partnered with a couple local restaurants, 4 Day Ray and Parks Place Pub.
Oh, heck yeah!
So I don't have to be in the restaurant business, which, as you very well know, is a
Yes.
challenge in and of
Yes.
itself. I can be in the entertainment and the golf side of that business. So we partnered with Parks Place as one of our main food providers and 4 Day Ray. So we go and we get the food and we bring it right to the base. So that's very easy for us. It's a good experience, and that's really what we wanted. We wanted a great frictionless customer journey. And if you haven't read the book, you have a lot of the same books I have, which I love, business books. That's one of my pastimes, is reading those. Friction.
Okay.
If you've not read Friction, it's an incredible book, and it's literally about the frictionless process that you want to bring to your employees, to customers, to the people around you, so that things are easy. When things are easy, things are typically better.
Yeah.
And so that's a good business book to read.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check that out. Typically, what happens is my wife buys me books, and they sit on my shelves, and then like 2 years later, somebody like you will mention it to me, and then I'll.
So you don't read these?
Well, I do.
What about that one? Have you read that one?
Shoe Dog?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. So, but it's after somebody's recommended it to me a couple of times, and then I'll go to my wife and be like, "Hey, can you help me order this?" And she goes, You already have." One of the books that you talked about with Nate, and it was at the very end of the podcast. Dan Martell's book, Buy Back Your Time.
Oh yes.
That's
crazy.
We're at the Mason McDonald and I.
Did I say the book title in the?
You did.
Okay.
You did. Like right at the very end.
Okay.
Mason McDonald and I Mason owns Noble Coffee. We're at the very end of it, reading through it.
Yeah.
And incredible. I actually text Quinn and I were driving, and I text Nate. And I was like, "Listen, he mentioned that book, but I'm telling you, you have to read this book." So, what are some of the key takeaways from that book? Like, why do you love that book so much?
Because it really opened my eyes to my own value, and I like books like that, and I don't highlight and take notes.
Right.
I just read the book, and then whatever comes through osmosis is then I'll go through. So that book was more about the feeling that it gave me, not the individual things that I learned and put an application in my day. It was more about the feeling like, hey, my time is valuable, and that my time is in order for me to do X, I can't do Y. And so what are the things that I can just get off? So for instance, email.
Yeah.
And this sounds incredibly selfish, but email, I have zero interest in following through the email throughout my day. I'd much rather be in meetings. I'd much rather be doing other things that I think are helpful. So my assistant, one of her main roles is to respond in some cases for me, to make sure that all the email is being handled appropriately and that we're not missing things. And I think that's incredibly. It's been a huge help to me because I can focus on the things that I'm best at. So that's probably what that book did, is more about it's okay.
Yeah, it kind of gave you permission to.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I think you're ahead of me in that, because you're already doing it. I'm getting that same permission from that book's helping to give myself the permission of like, I can make a bigger impact if I don't do my email,
or your calendar,
or my calendar,
any of those things
absolutely,
that are very important.
Yep.
But yet can be done by somebody else who also can be part of your day.
Yeah.
And can understand what you're trying to do and can think ahead for you and make things happen before they need to happen.
Yeah. And shocker, they're probably way better at it than what we
100%.
are anyway. 100%. So I'm with you. Like I've always struggled with that of like giving up stuff, but it's like, what are we doing?
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And I tell you, from probably the reason that I like doing what I do and being an entrepreneur is because I'm not. I let go. I let go quickly. I give all autonomy. I don't have the wherewithal to sit and wonder or stress if this person's doing that or that person's doing that. And I just hope that I either hope that's getting done or the expectation is that it's getting done.
Yeah.
So I don't stress about that stuff, and I have no control issues when it comes to that. Maybe driving, but that's about it. Outside of that, I have no control issues. And
if you and I go anywhere, we'll just have to have like.
I'll follow you.
Yeah.
There's no way.
We're not riding together.
No chance. Yeah. I can't think of a situation in life where we'd be in the same car. But part of this exercise for me is to just let go, because as you get bigger and bigger, I don't see every video that goes out. I don't know every client that we have anymore. I know that we have the client, but I don't know them, right? I don't know what we sold them in a lot of cases. So, which sucks because you don't feel as connected sometimes, but it's also part of it. It's as you grow. And when I'm in a sales call, I'll tell people, hey, I want to be a part of this. I can't guarantee you I'm going to be at the shoot. I can't guarantee you I'm going to be at the discovery, but if you ever need anything, I'm here. This is still my company and it's my literal name, and nobody takes it more personally than I do. So
right.
I'll be here.
And obvious, this like no-brainer question, but you want to continue to grow the media side of the business. Just because you're out here doing some acquisitions and launching, edible indie, different type of things. The goal is this is the big growth engine.
Well, we've got 5 different types of divisions, and I think the Adam Grubb Media umbrella, and then our marketing agency, and then our publishing division, and then we have an events division, and then we have a promotional apparel division, all of which are underneath the AGM space. And then I have Stick and Hack, and then I have a company called Build Experience, which is another side entrepreneurial journey of mine, where we're doing demonstration homes across the country.
Wow.
And a showcase of the actual build experience from a residential construction space. So all of which will be underneath the AGM umbrella at some point. So yeah, the growth is massively important to me. I know the number. I know what that final number is. As I told you, I see the end. I just don't know all the steps to get there.
Right.
I see the end of AGM and the number that is, and the valuation that is, and all those things. I have all that, and so yeah, I do want to grow, and I do want to continue to hire and continue to acquire and do the fun things that we're doing. Because it is so much fun. Yeah. I love it. I do. I love going to work. I love getting up. I love going to work. I work a lot. I think a lot. I'm in sometimes to my detriment. I'm not doing some of the things for myself anymore because I am in here a lot.
Right.
But we're at a very pivotal part of the company, and I can't relax on that because this is the Malcolm Gladwell tipping point is where we're at right now. So we can stay right here and be perfectly fine and make the money we're making, or we can do what I want to do, which is to 5X it. Yeah, go build something epic. And you're well on the way there. So well, it appears that way. Yeah, that's all that matters. It appears that way. That's what this is all about, anyways. I'd love to talk about a couple of things. Edible Indie. Yeah. And then also the new partnership and what that looks like with the Keeping Up Local Squad. Yeah. The Yeater family is raving fans of the Keeping Up Local Squad. We started working
when we opened this store a year and a half ago, this Everbowl location, we had Chelsea come in, and my wife and Chelsea became friends, and we think that she's incredible, and what she's building is incredible. And,
so do I.
And
she's why I partnered up.
Marketing genius. Like she's super sharp. So would love to hear how that came about and what your vision is with that.
Well, so Edible Indie, that's one of those funny stories where it just kind of happened. Jennifer Rubenstein, who owned Edible Indie for many, many years and did an incredible job with the platform and that magazine. There's 80 or so across the country. They're a licensed deal. But you get your license for the individual city. So she had Edible Indie, and I knew her from other things that I had done in the years past. And I called her. We were trying to get in with the National Association of Restaurants and Hospitality, right? So we were trying to get in there to do some videos. And so I called her one time. I'm like, hey, do you know anybody there? And then we started talking. And then she's like, I said, hey, I see that you're selling edible. How's that going? And she said, not great. Do you want to buy it? I'm like, oh, ha. No, I'm good. Thanks. And then 48 hours later, I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Maybe this could be fun. Maybe we could do something with that. So we went back and we ended up buying it and brought it into the gym. And she did a great job with it for sure. But she was one person. And that's a hard job to do as one person. I've got a whole staff and a whole team, and it's still a challenge. But I knew that we could build this into a platform. We could celebrate food and drink in a different way in Indianapolis. We could do shows, and we can do podcasts, we can do newsletters, we can have a website, we can have a really unique magazine too that isn't around here. So we did that, and we're over a year now with that publication, and it's going great. And it's also brought in relationships with Hughes, relationships with CRG, relationships with Psalms and the other Clancy's, all the other big people, because that attracted them.
Such a perfect cheese on the mousetrap.
And then we just kind of say, okay, you're here, but hey, also we have all of this here, and then pretty soon they're a partner of ours, and we're working with their businesses, and that's the part that I love about our companies, that everything's connected, and at any point something that we're doing is connected to the other. So then, with Edible, we have big plans for that and know where we want that to go. And partnerships with influencers and partnerships with marketing companies and other agencies that are in that space, very important to me. And keeping up local and Chelsea and that squad, they're incredible people. They're so fun. They fit the AGM mold immediately with their personalities and their passion for media. And we just started talking, and I connected the dots. She connected the dots, and then we said, hey, let's do some stuff together. Let's combine our audiences and combine our media power and our team, and let's go out there and really crush it. And so we just announced that a couple weeks ago, and we'll see how it goes. But we're both very positive and very optimistic that the companies will complement each other very well, because what we have she doesn't, and what she has we don't. And then there are a couple of things that we both have together. So it's a pretty good relationship.
Yeah, and as a customer of Keeping Up Local, we've used them on multiple occasions and referred them, and their impact is ROI is.
And so at that point, you have the opportunity to use her.
Yeah.
And use us for video and for the Edible Indie audience and for that. And now we've expanded that. And now we're writing an article, and now you have a full page in the magazine. Now it's a multimedia platform, right? And it started with a reel. It started with one relationship. Now has turned into this. That stuff I love so much.
Yeah, and I think it's just getting started. I mean, I think you guys you're gonna keep expanding that reach, and then just coming up with new forms of media to connect with the audience, and because it's all about like these restaurants. There's so many great restaurants or retail shops, whatever you want to call it, but if people don't experience it until they're there, so how do you get them to feel it, taste it without actually being there? And that's where you guys are extremely gifted at that. So.
Well, and this latest issue of Edible Indie, we actually did a profile on the tastemakers of Indianapolis, and those are it's Marcus, so the Travel Foodie Guide, and then Nate Spangle, Chelsea, and then Laura from CDU Eat. So we picked 4 kind of influencer type people, and we featured them in this issue. And that is the next revelation of media. It's more instant, it's smaller, it's bite-sized, it's all those things. And then You got the other people that are doing all, and I still think, for the record, that print is a massive piece of marketing and of the conversation and of the storytelling platform. Everything comes back, and I think AI will eventually will be tired of that for a little bit, and we'll want to come back to some analog stuff. And so I'll be ready when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're launching a new platform in 26 called Forma, which is a journal for design and space. There's nothing else like that here in Indianapolis, which is interior design, architecture, and construction, both commercial and residential. There's no platform, magazine, journal, video, YouTube channel. There's nothing that's focused on the talent that's here in Indianapolis. So we're doing that in 26, which I'm excited about too. And again, it's multifaceted.
All breaking news here.
It's all breaking news. My God,
this is where you come.
This is like 60 minutes.
Yes,
what this feels like.
Yeah. You just got to drive, the 3-minute drive over here to get that done. We funny story with Bowls in Business. Obviously, Blake was one of the speakers as well, and we had been here for over a year, and it took me that long to realize that Blake's office was right behind us. So are you doing I love just diving into business stuff and this stuff too. So obviously you're doing print. Are you guys doing newsletters, so it's almost like a digital copy of it?
Digital. So you have print, you have digital, you have social, and then you have the experiential.
Got it.
So we have those 4 platforms, or those 4 entities for the platform, both for Edible Indie and then for Forma in 26. And so those are all 4 different touch points that an advertiser could come in and help tell their story. And we think that those should all be connected, and the storyline should be the same through all of them. And that's what our company is built on, are those 4 kind of pillars of media. And I think it'll only get bigger and stronger as marketing and media change, and it changes drastically. If this goes down, we'll be here.
Right.
This goes down, we'll be here. I've diversified enough through food and through construction, and then through our marketing agency and through our different clientele there. We're in a pretty good spot of, hey, if this sucks, then we got this to pick us up. And that's something really important from a business perspective.
Right.
It's not a plan B. It's just part of the plan.
You're like a diversified fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. A little safe, right?
Right.
But if you get the 6-7% return, that's really all you want in one of those funds. And so it's the same thing with AGM.
With Edible Indie, so you're at a year. Email subscribers, I mean, you may not know off the top of your head, but have you guys grown the email?
We just started that, so we almost had to start over, right?
Okay.
So we have over 1,000 subscribers, and we're starting that. As far as an email is concerned, our social media is where we're killing it, though. We have almost 37,000 on Instagram alone, and they're a very incredibly, I guess, every post that we have, somebody has a thought on either that restaurant or that person, right?
Right.
The food culture, I didn't realize was as intense as it is.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we have a lot of engagement on our social channels, which is great. We have about 6,000. We have 80 distribution points for our magazine all across the city, and we print upwards of 7,000 of the magazines. And then we have our digital subscribers as well. Yeah,
the distribution points, how do you find them? Are you guys going out there and pursuing them, or is that inbound?
Yeah, okay. No, we were going out, and some of them we married into, right, when we bought it. But now we're going out and saying, hey, the new audience we're looking for, this would be perfect for you. Hotels and other places where it's not just coffee shops. It's and that's where most people think grocery store and coffee shops. Well, yeah. But also, there's a lot of other tourism spots and hospitality spots that we want to be in. So, it's a trial by fire and a little trial and error to find the right spots. But everyone's been very excited about the new Edible Indie.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to what you guys do on the media side, tell me, are you guys pretty broad, wide range of customers that you work with, or it's like, hey, we really try to stay with these, 3 to 4 different types of customers?
So that's a great question. We have 3, for years people would say, who are you targeting?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Who's paying money?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't give a shit. Whoever needs what I have, right? And that's literally how we built it. But then you at some point you have to kind of hone it in. So a couple years ago, we honed into 3 main categories, which is construction and manufacturing, hospitality and tourism, and then healthcare and medical. And those are broad enough to where we can capture most people. And then we have some non-endemic kind of side, like lawyers and stuff like that we'll do stuff with. But those are the 3 main categories that we've found our talent lies, our ability to tell the stories, our clientele that we have, history. This is a funny one. I had someone tell me the other day, and I appreciated their honesty. I said, why don't you work with us? And they said, well, because you do this with all these other people in this space. And I just kind of, I don't want to be part of that. And I said, that's interesting. What if I told you that I had no experience in that space? And he said, well, I wouldn't work with you.
Right.
Like, so what's the magic number?
Yeah.
How many clients are there that I work in that space that we know are too many, and then what's too few? So I didn't really think that was a real objection, to be honest. But I appreciated the feedback. But when you do target a specific market segment, you could run into that problem, right? But I use it as, hey, we know this market, we understand what people want, we have experience here, we sign NDAs, we're not, we can work with a lot of people, and so that's been interesting to see how that's grown, those 3 segments.
And typically starts with video that they're then going to use on web and social, or really any platform.
So we're full service marketing and ad and PR and communications and all that. So it will start with one thing, whether a new website, whether it's a new brand, whether it's a video. It always starts with one. Most people don't come and say, hey, take everything right now. We have a few of those, but it doesn't happen all the time. So we'll start with 1 or 2 products, and then they'll get with our team and they'll get the experience and they'll feel it, and then we'll say, hey, do you have a plan for those videos? Oh, no, we're going to put them on our YouTube channel. Like, oh, well, your YouTube channel sucks, so maybe we help you with that. Like, so then we go into that mode of let's help you identify, create, and then ensure that people see the message. That is the tree in the forest if you've ever had it. If you're going to spend $10,000 on a video package, you better make damn sure people watch those videos. And how do you make that happen? Well, you need an internal marketing team, but they're crazy busy with all the other stuff they're trying to do. And to build a YouTube channel isn't exactly on their list. So that's how we have found our way into companies, is like, hey, we're going to be an extension of what you don't want to do or need to do but can't do. We're going to handle it for you. We're going to work alongside you. We're going to work with your marketing team, your current marketing team, to make sure we're doing the right things that are part of your strategy. Or we're going to come to you and tell you, here's what you should be doing. And this is what we think. And most of the time, people are very excited that they're hiring 23 people for the price of 1, maybe 2 people, right? That are extremely talented. And it's not, it's not cheap. I'm not going to say that it is. But if we know what the end looks like for you as the customer, and we know what you want and what you're going to be happy with, then we're going to do everything we can to make sure that's at least a 2x, if not 3x return on that investment. And
it's there forever, right? They're always going to have access to it. I can't put you on the spot to say your favorite restaurant, but what's a new restaurant that's come to Indy that you're really excited about?
I don't know. I'm not a fancy man, so the fancy doesn't get it for me. I like the sandwich shops and some of those things. There's a couple new steakhouses that have come up as of late, but I'm more of the new deli or the new sandwich shop that is independently owned, that they're trying to make a go at it, and anything with burgers. That's my love, is that.
Smash burgers,
100%.
Yeah, smash
100%.
Burgers are the way to go.
Yeah, I would want to open up one of those. I just call it griddle. I would whatever I can make on the griddle. I would do that and sell it, and you just have just a pile of meat and eggs and hash browns, and you just do it all day.
I'm in.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
sign me up.
And then you'll franchise it.
Yes, deal. Well, and Blake's got a place coming.
I'm excited for that. Yeah. That's a really cool concept. Those are the types of things that I'm glad you mentioned that. It's at Noblesville. It's called the Pretender. It's a hi-fi music lounge and listening bar. Which, if you're, most of people in Central Indiana are going to go, "What are you talking about?" It is not just a bar that has music. It's an immersive experience, and you're there for the music, which and the drinks are there as well, and some light bites and stuff. It's a really cool concept. It's a small footprint, and I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing. It's not going to be for everyone, and that's the whole point. It's not built for everyone. It's built for a very specific niche group of people that want a different listening experience and want to just hang and listen to music and have some drinks.
Yeah,
so,
and the fact that it's going to be another great option downtown Noblesville is really exciting. So short-term projects you guys got coming up over the, really to close out the years, or is there,
the launch of Forma is what we are really hitting hard these next 3 months to get that launch where we want it to be for the beginning of the year. We also have a couple conferences, Build Better Summit that we run, and then Women Build It that we're trying to expand out in 26. So the end of the year is also about setting up for 26, and that means that we have to start selling now for 26 because we need to be in people's budgets. We need to be our editorial calendars need to be finished and done. Our media kits need to be done. Between now and October is probably some of the busy work of our year. Because we're setting things up for next year, and I did an exercise to see how much we have to sell here to make here, and what the percentage per month is of XYZ, and this whole thing. I spent an entire Sunday one time going through it, and I've never done it before, and it was eye-opening. And I was actually mad at myself I hadn't done it before because I wasn't into the numbers, and now I am, and now I can see some trends. I can see some things happening maybe before they happen. So that would be some lasting advice, and a parting gift is, even if you're not a numbers dude, get into the numbers the best you can, at least on a broad spectrum, so that you're not flying blind and pretending everything's okay when in reality, hey, we're hitting some speed bumps, so I need to slow down, and that was so. Right now, where we're at in the company is that we've got a lot of things we want to do. Yeah, we got to pace it out a little bit so that we don't overrun our own reserves, and also that we're systematically putting things in the market in the right time. Otherwise, it's just a glob fest of AGM, and that well,
and there's intentionality behind what you're doing, and just like what you're talking about with your Sunday experiment that you did. And we had just Bulls in Business on Tuesday, where I use this example with lots of people is understanding the number you want to be at. So a lot of times these solo entrepreneurs, I tell them okay, let's get to 10K a month, right? And you're bringing in 10K a month. How many clients is that? If you're at $500 a client, we're talking about 25 clients on an ongoing basis. How many conversations do you need to have before you close a client? So I like to try to help them get to the point to where it's I need to go have 150 conversations, and then that's going to equal 25.
Yeah. And do you know what my pet peeve is when I ask a business owner when we're talking to any company, and I ask them about their CRM system, and they tell me it's a spreadsheet, or they tell me it's a piece of paper, or they tell me that it's the QuickBooks. I lose it. How is that possible? How do you not have a system? And there's so many, and there's cheap softwares. There's absolutely so many things out there. That to have a CRM that you can look at and just study and understand and track, and it changes the game. It changes the game completely, both for your confidence, because you see all those deals up there on the screen and go, okay, we got some things happening here. But also, so you understand how many meetings you need, how many times you need to send this to get that. What is your sales process? What's the percentage of close once you send a proposal? What's the percentage of close if you get a meeting? How many do you lose based upon how many you win in a month and a quarter? That stuff, and even if you're not a data person, you should geek out on it, because it will change the way you look at your business and change the decisions that you make for your business.
Yeah, and it'll identify, and that's, we didn't get into your sales history and stuff, but that season that you were in sales as a business owner, it is so key, because because you got to sell.
Dude, that's the whole reason that AGM is I believe had the success early, is because of sales. My company's not built on production. I didn't have a production background. I didn't hold a camera. I didn't go to school for media or anything like that. It was built because I was able to sell. and I was able to sell the idea and the vision and the creativity and the end product. I was able to sell, and the business side took care of itself with the right hires. But if you're not selling, and if you're starting a business and you can't sell your own business and your own idea and your own vision, forget it.
Yeah,
it's over.
You're gonna be in trouble.
It's over.
Yeah,
and because it's going to take you 3 years to get enough revenue set to hire a salesperson. But then when that salesperson comes in, what are you going to tell them? How are you going to train them to sell if you can't sell it? So,
well, in buy back your time,
right? Yes.
He calls it the camcorder method, and that's, I've been adding that into my. I literally just did it today. I needed somebody to sign an agreement that I sent their way, so I recorded the video of me walking through it. It's like, I should be doing this for everything. So yeah, that's a great. So I've got rapid fire questions for you as we wrap things up. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Any other world breaking stuff? So
I think that's it. I think I've let enough out of the bag for this at this point.
Great. Well, hey man, I'm excited about everything that you're building. Thanks for what you do. I love when people are growing and employing lots of people in our backyards, right? And I'm passionate about helping the good guys win, and I'm here if you ever need help with anything. And you already know I'm going to bug you if I need help with stuff. I do,
so. And you guys are doing some really great things for the community and for small business, which I just don't know if there's enough resources for small business that are truly built from people who have built small businesses and have built businesses. And when I was speaking at your 1 year anniversary, it was awesome to see that many people. And now that I'm in the Facebook group and I'm watching some of those people come through and new people, it's really exciting. And I think this area has a lot of talent, has a lot of things to gain. I just hope that these people stick with it. I hope that they do grow their business. I hope that they hear and learn and fail and succeed and all the things. I hope they hire right. I hope they fire right. And I hope that they take the lessons that they hear from everybody and utilize it for their own good, because that's the only way that people win and business win is that. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, it's been a fun Friday afternoon with Adam. We usually don't work past noon, but for you, we'll do it. Oh, you're like my team. So yeah, exactly. Appreciate it. Exactly. But yeah, you have a great weekend, and we'll be in touch, man. Thanks, man. Yep.